I'm going to call the specially noticed meeting of the Central Florida Expressway Authority Board to order. Today's September the 7th. This meeting is scheduled for 3 o'clock. If you would all please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I love your pledge. You have the best pledge.
Thank you.
It's like having a choir behind you in church.
We're out of sandbags.
Okay, there are 6 of us physically present. Those on the phones, could you announce yourselves?
Linda Carey. Jim Barfield.
Okay, and Commissioner Hawkins is not expected on the phone or in person.
That's correct.
We need to have a 6 present, is that right?
Yes, you have a quorum.
Okay. All right, do we have any requests for public comment? Then we will move on to approval of the August 13th, 2017 board meeting minutes. Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Second.
Motion second. All in favor of the motion indicate so by saying aye.
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 Aye. Okay. That brings us to the consent agenda. Are there any items on the consent agenda that a member would like to have considered separately? If not, then is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Motion second. All in favor of the motion indicate so by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Okay, right into Chairman's report. Good afternoon, and I want to thank all the members and those who are interested in this for accommodating our specially noticed meeting. Due to the imminent arrival of Hurricane Irma, we're only going to address one action item, and that's one related to the Wekiva Parkway project. We'll revisit the presentation from our the connected and autonomous vehicles at our October meeting. And just before we move to our one agenda item, I just want to underscore the importance of completing your hurricane preparations. And as it relates to the Expressway, Governor Scott suspended all tolls Tuesday afternoon to facilitate the necessary evacuations from many parts of the state of Florida, and likewise the Expressway Authority, under Laura's authority, did likewise, I guess on the same day, correct?
Yes, sir, we did, and we're also extending the hours of our road rangers and cooperating with FHP to keep our roadways clear.
Okay. And that concludes the chairman's report, treasurer's report.
Thank you, Mayor. The financial results represent the first month of the new fiscal year, and good news, we're off to a good start. Total revenues during July were $36 million, which is 4% above budget and 6% above the prior year. Total operating expenses were $2.3 million for the month, which is 9% under budget. After debt service, the total net revenue available for projects was $21 million. Our projected year-end senior lien debt service ratio is 2.23, which is in line with budget. And that's it.
Thank you. Laura, Executive Director's report.
Yes, sir, we've begun meeting with FHP to talk about our construction safety campaign, and so we'll be telling you more about that, but some details are in my ED report. And again, me and a core team will be working this weekend to make sure that our roads stay safe and that we keep them running smoothly. That concludes my report.
All right, thank you. Then we'll move on to our one agenda item, which is the proposed settlement with Project Orlando for the parcels listed in your agenda relating to the Wekiva Parkway project. J. Small.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, board members. We're here this afternoon to request and to recommend that the board approve a proposed settlement of a series of condemnation cases involving the Project Orlando matter. The cases that we're seeking approval for are parcels 197, 897. Those cases are set for trial. They were set for trial on Monday. I frankly expect that under the circumstances, there would be no trial starting Monday. The court is closed. That is set for a 9-day trial period. If there are any other days that are canceled, it's perhaps likely that that will not be tried during the next docket because we have 9 days set for trial. The other parcels, parcels 230, 257, and 267, are not yet set for trial. Procedurally, since this is an ongoing matter and we are technically scheduled for trial pending this board's approval of this settlement, I'd like to provide the board members with a brief overview of the settlement and then answer any questions that you may have. If you have questions that go into matters that may involve trial strategy, I'm going to have to be obviously very circumspect in how I respond to those. Let me briefly outline. I know that the board members have received a briefing memorandum from my firm. There are 5 points to this settlement. It is an all-inclusive global settlement of all issues for all parcels for $22,195,348.85. As I said, it resolves every single issue that is in this case. It resolves all compensation issues. It resolves all potential appellate issues, and it resolves all parcels ahead of schedule, including those which are not yet set for trial. One of the unique aspects of this settlement agreement is that it provides for a general release in the stipulated final judgment in a condemnation case. As I explained to the members of the Right-of-Way Committee, I've been doing condemnation litigation for 30 years. And I represent as many property owners as I do condemning authorities. It would be a difficult thing for me as an owner's counsel to recommend a general release for all current and future liability in a condemnation case, in the typical condemnation case. I would underscore that I think that is a significant issue and one of the benefits of this stipulated final judgment that has been signed by Project Orlando and the lender. One of the unique aspects, as I pointed out in the memorandum, is the participation of the lender. The lender has signed this stipulated final judgment and it will be bound by the terms of that agreement. The other thing that this judgment does is it eliminates the Expressway Authority's obligation to pay additional attorney's fees and costs, its own and the property owners. As I've mentioned, parcels 230, 257, 267 are not set for trial. And I think that this settlement will avoid additional costs incurred in having to try those cases. It's likely if we did try those cases, the soonest we could do it would be the first quarter of next year. The settlement proposal is outlined on the next slide, and the total owner's demand is $32,823,281. The amount of the Expressway Authority's appraisals is $12,234,500. The bottom line of this table illustrates what I would call a snapshot in time of what the Expressway Authority's exposure is, because in a condemnation case, the property owner is entitled to statutory interest on the difference between what's put into the court registry and what the ultimate jury verdict is. Since this case is not yet set for trial, since the other 3 parcels are not yet set for trial, that interest can continue to accrue. So this $37,705,367 figure is a snapshot in time as of the time that this memorandum was prepared. The total settlement is $22,195,348.85. That is less than a split between the midpoint between our appraisal and the owner's appraisal, even excluding fees and costs. That number is a significant savings to the Expressway Authority from our perspective. The request that we are making, and what we are requesting, is an approval of this recommended all-inclusive settlement in the amount of $22,195,348.85 and authorization to execute all necessary documents to affect that all-inclusive settlement. In the board's package, you have a copy of the signed stipulated final judgment. It would be our intent, if the board approves this settlement, to execute that judgment, and we would bring this matter to a resolution, probably the first available date that we could get this in front of the court, maybe Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. And I'm available for any questions that the chair may have or any of the other members on the board.
Okay, and recommendation from the Right-of-Way Committee?
The Right-of-Way Committee recommended approval of this all-inclusive settlement.
Unanimously?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Questions? If there are no questions, is there a motion?
Well, let's not be so enthused about this. It's a big number, but I believe that everybody did their part in negotiating this in good faith, and pleased that you've been able to reach this, and pleased that we have a unanimous recommendation from the Right-of-Way Committee, and I know we all have highly qualified people that serve on that. With that being said, I will move approval of the recommendation.
Second.
Motion and a second. Is there a discussion? I want to also thank the team that worked on this. I know it's been a long process. I don't remember, Mayor Jacobs, I guess, would have been the only member of the Expressway Authority Board that would have been a member at the time that this was originally taken. So it's been a long process with some controversy, obviously, but I think the team has come to what is a palatable result for the Expressway Authority.
And for the record, none of that controversy involves anybody who is sitting here today in this position. So very pleased and proud of that.
All right, any further comment? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion indicate so by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, and so the motion carries. We have no further business to come before the Expressway Authority, but I will open it for board member comment if there's anybody that has anything good of the order. If not, then we'll stand adjourned.
Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
This is a record.